I've heard all week about the MVP caliber performance Kyler Murray has put out this season, and he's looked wonderful through the first 3 weeks of the season. But what I have to say to that is Washington got that thing on him too. Jayden Daniels is also a dog. Let's talk about it. What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson back with the latest and greatest on the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about the Washington Commanders. We are now one day away from our showdown in the desert, the Cliff Kingsbury revenge game. Jayden Daniels returning to the state of the first school he went to, and we all saw how that ended there. And another, for the second week in a row, it's Heisman versus Heisman. Two Heisman, top 2 overall quarterbacks going mano-a-mano on a Sunday afternoon. This is probably going to be the most exciting game played tomorrow, period. But before we get to it, this video and all videos this season are brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where it all begins, home of the 150% match bonus on your first deposit. 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000 using code YouTube150, promo code YouTube150. Get the fastest payouts in the industry with BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Let's talk about it. I'm looking at Kyler Murray's numbers through the first 3 weeks of the season. 162 yards and a touchdown versus the Buffalo Bills, but he was effective on the ground as well. 266 through the air, 3 touchdowns, no picks, perfect passer rating game versus the Rams in week 2, and then versus the Lions in week 3, 207 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, giving him 635 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 pick. He also has 160 yards on the ground so far. 160 yards on the ground, no rushing touchdowns so far, and everybody is saying he is the top quarterback in the league, if not the top, the 2 or the 3 after Josh Allen, because Josh Allen's clearly the best quarterback in the league right now. But I hear people reading these numbers out and watching Kyler, and they're raving about how Washington may not stand a chance because how well Kyler Murray's playing. And to that, I say, Jayden Daniels has more passing yards and rushing yards than Kyler Murray in 2024. I'm going to say that again for those in the back who did not hear me. Jayden, the rookie, in 3 starts this year, has 30 more passing yards than Kyler Murray. He has about 10 to 15 more rushing yards than Kyler Murray. And they have the same amount of total touchdowns. Kyler has 1 more pick than Jayden. Jayden has 2. So they look at Jayden and they say, oh, he has 2 passing touchdowns on the season. Well, he also has 3 rushing touchdowns. That's 5 total, giving him the same amount as Kyler Murray. So when I'm hearing everybody glaze Kyler into oblivion, which they should, because he is returning to form post-injury. He started to build on that in 2023 when he came back for the last 7 or 8 weeks or so, but he's punctuating that in 2024. But Washington now has one of those too. So what are we talking about? Everybody, oh my God, the Cardinals are this fantastic, amazing football team. The Commanders don't stand a chance on Sunday. Everybody's walking around shaking in their boots. What are we going to do about Kyler Murray and their offense? What the fuck are they going to do about Jayden Daniels in our offense? What are they going to do? Brian Robinson going to have a day. Jayden Daniels through the air and with his legs is going to have a day. Just like we have to find a way to neutralize their superpowers with Kyler Murray, they got to find a way to do the same. We're talking about the highest graded quarterback of week 3. We're talking about, through the last 2 weeks, the most productive offense in the NFL. It ain't the Arizona Cardinals. It is Jayden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. I don't know how he didn't get a 158.3 perfect passer rating on Monday. 21 of 23 for 254, 2 touchdowns, no picks. 91% complete. How's that not a perfect passer? Oh, he needs another touchdown. But what? He got it on the ground. But we ain't worried about that. You're reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week, but everybody's talking about Kyler Murray. I love it. People view us like we're still this worst team in the league, Carolina Panthers owned by Dan Snyder type situation, to the point that they forget the Cardinals are a bad football team too. I've seen it all week and I'm tired of it, and I'm not going to stand for this team gallivanting around, prancing around like they've arrived already. They wearing fucking Medal of Merit badges that said, we played a close game with Buffalo. We played a close game with the Detroit Lions. Well, whoop-de fucking do. You lost. You lost the game. So what are we talking about? Well, this Washington team, they're in year one of y'all are in year two. And Jonathan Gannon is 5-15. Put it in all caps. 5 wins and 15 losses. Y'all are still a bad team who's trying to find your identity as well. I like your running back duo, Benson, Connor. I like the wide receiving core of Marvin Harrison Jr., Michael Wilson, and Greg Dortch. This is a much closer matchup than people are anticipating, and I'm not worried about Kyler cooking, because of course he's going to cook. He's a baller, and he got paid money too. But we got one of those two now. So why are we walking around afraid of the Arizona Cardinals when our quarterback has been more productive? He has more yards passing and more yards rushing. They have the same amount of total touchdowns this year. This is a rookie quarterback who just got the training wheels for real snatched off last week on Monday night. I'm looking at Jayden Daniels' passing yards, pass completions, and touchdowns props for Sunday's game. They got him right now at 212 and a half yards, 18 and a half completions, 1.5 passing touchdowns. I'm going over for the yards. I'm going over for the completions, and I'm not going to give him more than 1.5 passing touchdown, because I think he's going to get one on the ground. Just like you do in fantasy with Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts, you can almost bank anytime touchdown Jayden Daniels each week, and we're only 3 weeks into his career. And why we would prefer for him to win with his arm when you're given the God-given ability to bust the game open and, like Dan Quinn said in the draft process, snatch the soul out of a defense. You use that sometime. My predictions for Jayden Daniels tomorrow: 230 or so passing yard. So that's an over on the passing yard stat. Give me 23 to 25 completions. I think he's going to throw it enough. I think he's going to throw it 28, 29 times tomorrow. So give me 22 through 25 completions. So that's another over. I'm going to take the under on the passing touchdown. I have us winning the game tomorrow 27 to 26 on a game-winning drive. That's another 5 scoring drives for Jayden Daniels. And how I have that broke down: 3 touchdowns, 21 points, 2 field goals, 2 Austin Seibert field goals, and 3 Washington Commanders touchdowns. And I have those touchdowns. Brian Robinson is going to score a rushing touchdown on the Arizona Cardinals. After seeing what Montgomery and Gibbs did to those boys last week, I still think we get the running game going, even without Austin Eckler. Brian Robinson, he's probably going to run for 60 to 90 yards tomorrow versus this team. I got him getting in the end zone for the 3rd time this year. Jayden Daniels, I told you, 230 passing yards. Well, I'm also giving him 70 rushing yards versus this team tomorrow. I'm giving him 300 total yards versus the Arizona Cardinals, because I think this is the game he breaks one. This is the game he breaks a long run on the Arizona Cardinals. That was my bold prediction in the stream me and Josh Taylor did yesterday. Shout out to my guy. This is the week he takes 140 or 50 yards. It may not go to the crib. He may get tackled. He may run out of bounds. He may fucking slide, but he's going to take 140 or 50 yards in this game. And what better game to do so versus an electric guy like Kyler Murray? I think we're going to see two electrifying performances by the quarterbacks in the game tomorrow. I got Jayden, 230 passing yards, 70 rushing yards, giving him 300 plus total yards on the day. Over 20 completions and one passing touchdown, one rushing touchdown. Brian Robinson scores a touchdown, and Austin Seibert makes 2 field goals, including the field goal that puts us up 27-26 to win the football game at State Farm Stadium tomorrow. It's about time people put some respect on the direction and the trajectory that this franchise is headed in. Until I get humbled again, I'm picking this team right now. The defense at some point has to play average. A good performance is a lot to ask for, but a broken clock is right twice a day. We will eventually stumble into a good defensive performance. It would be nice if they could play average tomorrow. But however good Kyler Murray plays, I think that defense bends but not breaks enough that Jayden Daniels outduels another Heisman Trophy winning $250 million plus quarterback for the second week in a row and have the Washington Commanders flying high, spreading our wings and soaring out of the desert, 3-1 in first place for the third week in a row in the NFC East. That's all I got for right now. Drop your Jayden Daniels stat prediction in the comments. I want to know yards. I want to know passing yards. I want to know rushing yard. I want to know touchdown. He may turn it over this week. I want fans to brace themselves. He is not going to be a clean sheet perfectionist. That is a rookie quarterback. Ultimately, mistakes are going to happen this year. So do not lose your mind or get your panties in a bunch whenever he turns the ball over. It's to be expected. Come on now. The best quarterbacks in this division right now, Rain Dakota and Jalen Hurts, have plenty of turnover, and they're making top dollar in this league. So don't be ready to crash out when Jayden finally turns the ball over. Jayden Daniels, 230 passing yards, 70 rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 passing touchdown, 1 Brian Robinson rushing touchdown, and 2 Austin Seibert field goals, 27-26 Washington Commanders. Big day and another masterclass for rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels as we're looking to continue the streak of accolade collecting like Infinity Stones. That's all I got for right now. This video was brought to you and powered by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Make sure you take advantage of code YouTube150 for a 150% match bonus on your first deposit and 125% on your next 2. BetUS Sportsbook, where it all begins. Hail to the Washington Commanders. Let's get this dub tomorrow, baby. Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday.